In the previous video, we knew that the earth is in declining health. We knew about the green movement. We also knew that the green movement is the best solution for all the problems of the earth. In today's video, we will learn about the change in our view towards the earth. Let us start. We have shifted one hopes irrevocably from the mechanistic view to a holistic and ecological view of the world. See this line? First, words and their meanings. Irrevocably means unchangingly. Holistic means holistic, emphasizing the organic or functional relation between parts and the whole. Ecological, relating to or concerned with the relation of living organisms to one another or to their physical surroundings. Now see the line. We have shifted. One hopes that we have shifted. Irrevocably means unchangingly from the mechanistic view. Now what is mechanistic view? In the mechanistic view, we used to think that the earth is a non-living thing and we are only to use her resources for our well-being. We used to think that there is no interrelation between organisms and we used to think that we are the master of this earth and can destroy any organism and nothing will happen to this earth and to us. In this way, this was our mechanistic view towards the earth. Now I think the mechanistic view is clear to you. Now see the line. We have shifted, one hopes, irrevocably from the mechanistic view to a holistic and ecological view of the world. Now what is holistic? Holistic means holistic, emphasizing the organic or functional relation between parts and the whole. In the holistic view, we think that the earth is a living being. We think that the earth is an organism. We think that animals, birds, plants, insects, rocks, soil, etc. are the parts of this living being that is our earth. We think that we are also the part of this being. Now we think that there is interrelation between organisms and if one organism is affected, it will affect the other organisms. In this way, organisms are interdependent on one another for their life. Now we think we are not the master of this earth, we are caretaker of this earth. We think of the earth as a complete being having different parts, as human beings have different parts that are interrelated with one another. Now I think the concept of the holistic view is clear to you. Now we come to ecological view. In the ecological view, we see that there is interrelation between living organisms. Living organisms affect their environment and they are also affected by their environment. Now I think the concept of ecological view is clear to you. Now see the line once again. We have shifted our hopes irrevocably from the mechanistic view to holistic and ecological view of the world. It is a shift in human perceptions as revolutionary as that introduced by Copernicus, who taught mankind in the 16th century that the earth and the other planets revolved round the sun. See, shift means here change. Perception means views. Here the writer is saying that the change in human views towards the earth is as revolutionary as there was a change in views of the people about the solar system. Actually, before Copernicus, people used to think that the sun revolved round the planets, but it was Copernicus who taught mankind in the 16th century that the earth and the other planets revolve round the sun. The theory given by Copernicus brought a great change in the views of the people in the 16th century. They changed their views about the solar system, and this change brought a great revolution in their views. In the same way, the shift from the mechanistic view to a holistic and ecological view of the world is revolutionary. Now see, This is the image of Copernicus, and the second image is about the solar system. Copernicus told that the planets revolve round the sun. Previously, people used to think that the sun revolved round the planets. When Copernicus introduced this new theory, there was a great change in the views of the people in the 16th century. And this change brought a great revolution. For the first time in human history, there is a growing means increasing, worldwide consciousness that the earth itself is a living organism, an enormous being of which we are parts. See the line? For the first time in human history, there is a growing means increasing. Worldwide means throughout the world, consciousness awareness. Now, for the first time in human history, there is an increasing awareness throughout the world that the earth itself is a living organism, that the earth itself is a living organism. Now, people think that the earth is a living being, an enormous being. Enormous means very big. They think that the earth is a very big being, of which we means we human beings are parts. And now the people think that they are parts of this big being that is our earth. It has its own metabolic needs and vital processes which need to be respected and preserved. See, for the first time, human beings have started to think that it means here the earth has its own. It means to say that the earth has her own metabolic needs, because the earth is a living being. That's why she also has her metabolic needs and vital processes which need to be respected and preserved. It means to say that we should respect and preserve the earth's metabolic needs and vital processes, because the earth is a living being. The earth's vital signs reveal a patient in declining health. Reveal means disclose. The Earth's vital signs disclose that the Earth is in declining health. They disclose that the health of the Earth is declining, is falling down. We have begun to realize our ethical obligations to be good stewards of the planet and responsible trustees of the legacy to future generations. First, see words and their meanings. Ethical means moral, obligations means duties or responsibilities. Stewards, custodians or keepers. Trustees means guardians, protectors. See the line. We have started to realize our ethical moral obligations means duties. Now we have started to realize our moral duties to be good stewards, to be good custodians, to be good keepers of the planet and responsible trustees. Trustees means guardians, protectors. Trustees means guardians or protectors of the legacy. Legacy means whatever we get from our forefathers or ancestors. That is called legacy. And responsible trustees of the legacy to future generations. Now we have started to realize our ethical means moral obligations, duties to be good stewards, custodians of the planet and responsible trustees, guardians of the legacy to future generations. Mean to say that whatever we have at this time on the planet, we have to protect for our future generations as good custodians. The concept of sustainable development was popularized. Was popularized means was made popular. In 1987 by the World Commission on Environment and Development. See the line. The concept of sustainable development was popularized means was made popular in 1987 by the World Commission on Environment and Development. In its report, it means the World Commission on Environment and Development defined the idea of sustainable development as development that meets means fulfills the needs of the present generations without making compromise with the ability of future generations to fulfill their needs. I.e. means edest means, that is to say, without stripping, without destroying, without over consuming the natural world of resources, without stripping the natural world of resources future generations would need. It means to say that the sustainable development is the development in which future generations fulfill their needs without destroying the natural resources for the future generations to fulfill their needs in future. In today's video, we have learned about the shift from the mechanistic view to a holistic and ecological view towards the earth. We have also learned about the sustainable development.